And in my mind, I'm like, okay, now you're giving me anxiety because I'm paying you to watch my child. I don't want people around my child, especially a man. Like,
You know me. You know me, you know me, you know me, you know me. You know me, you know me, you know me, you know me. You know me, you know me, you know me, you know me. You know me, you know me, you know me, you know me. You know me, you know me, you know me, you know me. You know me, you know me, you know me, you know me. You know me, you know me, you know me.
What's up, guys? It's Asianelle from Asianelle TV, also known as AEG.
And it's Patrice, aka Mommy. Before we get started, make sure you give this video a thumbs up. As you can see by the title, it's going to be a story time video. Give it a thumbs up. Comment down below. Subscribe because it's free, and it's anonymous, No. Thank you to all the subscribers that
That's my dog. It's my dog.
already subscribed, and all the new subscribers, welcome to the fam. Today I'm gonna do a story time about how we went to Atlanta, Asianelle, and the nanny. We're gonna start off with we gotta find a name for her first. We gotta nanny EJ, because nobody really knows her. Nanny EJ, because it was already Nanny EJ for code anyway. Probably about May. Before May, I already planned a trip to go to Atlanta because we wanted to go look for houses out there, house hunting, and we wanted to basically, I wanted to work. It was our birthday weekend, right? You always wanted to go to Atlanta. I always wanted to go to Atlanta, so we was like, okay, let's go. And business purposes, filming for content for your YouTube. I knew somebody that lived in Massachusetts years ago. She was a neighbor of mine. Good neighbor, good friend. Never thought anything bad about her. Always thought she was a positive person and whatnot. At first I didn't ask her to be a nanny. I asked her if she knew anybody who would be willing to be a nanny when I did work out in Atlanta for $19 an hour. So she jumped at the opportunity, and I didn't think twice because I had already known her. Right when we landed, which was the 18th, I had paid her up front. Mind you, $19 an hour. I sent her, I'll put how much I sent her before we even landed. And she didn't even watch Asianelle yet. And the clip in there so you guys can see. So needless to say, before we even got out there, before we even landed, she had texted me and said, "Oh, is it fine if I bring my friend?" Oh, sorry, Asianelle. Is it fine that if I bring my friend? Over. And in my mind, I'm like, okay, now you're giving me anxiety because I'm paying you to watch my child. I don't want people around my child, especially a man. Like, yeah, I understand you have friends, you have needs, you're a female, but when somebody hires you to do a job, it's a job. That's what I thought, especially knowing that how I am with my child. I don't like anybody around Asianelle. So I told her how I felt about it. She said, okay, that's fine. We get out there. The first night, it was so late, I couldn't go grocery shopping. I didn't go out. Me and Asianelle stayed in. We woke up together on our birthday. We spent the day together. We went out, me and Asianelle. Birthday feet.
That doesn't make sense. Birthday feet.
Those cute little toes. And then about afternoonish, she contacted me and asked me if I needed her to babysit. And I said, oh, no, I'm not working tonight. You know what? I do want to go out for my birthday because I never go anywhere. Let me just go out. I have a couple friends out in Atlanta. Let me just enjoy myself, or at least try to. So I tell her I'm going to go food shopping first. So she comes by, watches Asianelle while I go to Kroger's. I'm going to insert the receipt right there. I go to Kroger's. I go food shopping for me. Asianelle, I ask her if she wants anything. She says apple juice and something else. I forgot what it was. So I get that for her, whatever. I get a chicken that's already made, and I get some macaroni and cheese because I'm about to make Asianelle dinner before I leave and go out. Before I go out, she had made Asianelle food and left it on the table. She tells Asianelle to go in the room before I even leave. Your mother's trying to get ready. Go in the room. You're too hyper. Okay, I get it. Asianelle does get hyper. Everybody knows that. Asianelle does get hyper. Okay, so I'm thinking, okay, I'm just going to get ready. She's got this. I don't have to worry about it. She's like, your job is just to enjoy yourself for your birthday. She's like giving me like this positive energy. So I'm like, oh, yeah, you know, I'm feeling it. You know, maybe I can hire her full time. $19 an hour, you know, it might be worth it. So I leave. I go get my makeup done. And then I go out. As soon as I go out, I'm thinking to myself, okay, it's getting late. Let me go back. It hit like 12:30, right? As you know, 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning, something like that. 1:30. It was like 1:30. It was early. It was still late, but it was early. It was late for you, but it was early for me. So I come in the house, in the Airbnb that I had. There's dishes in the sink. There's food and stuff laying around. There's a lady's menstrual thing in the bathroom on the counter. And I go in there, I go, hey, how are you? And she goes, oh, I'm fine. I'm like, where's Asianelle? Oh, she was asleep. That's what Nanny EJ had said. She was asleep. So I'm like, I'm not thinking that of it. Oh, yeah, she probably was tired. So then she goes, oh, I'm going to get out of here. So she leaves. Soon as she leaves, I look over at the table and I realize, wait a minute. Asianelle didn't eat? Because the same food was still sitting there. So I go into the room. Asianelle pops her head up. As soon as I turn on the light, she pops her head up. I'm like, hey, baby, guess what I seen? Now, we both like Life of Brie. Well, I don't know if you guys know who that is. But she has a YouTube channel. Me, and I watch her all the time. I'm very intrigued by her. She's a very nice person. I met her in person. Very nice person. Me and Asianelle really do like her. I'm telling her, oh, Asianelle, Bree said hi, you know, and Asianelle's excited. So I go, oh, she goes, Mommy, I'm hungry. I said, why are you hungry? You didn't eat nothing? There was food out there. I bought food. And what did you say?
I asked her if I can come out the room and eat. She said no.
So I didn't call her right immediately. I waited the next day and I called her and I asked her, why didn't Asianelle eat anything? Her excuse was like, oh, she was asleep. So then Asianelle hears her and says, Nanny EJ, I asked you to come out because I was hungry. You told me to go back in the room.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Now, this is why I say be mindful. Oh, sorry, baby. This is why I say be mindful of who watches your kids. Because people are not going to love your kids like you love your kids. You know what I'm saying? She left my daughter in there for a total of, 8 hours?
Yeah, 8 hours.
No food. It's her birthday weekend. And I was just like, what? Like, for $19 an hour? Like, I would have never done that to anybody's child, like, ever. Like, I don't feel... And I asked her, I'm like, so she's like, oh, because she was hyper before you left. And I said, so that justifies it? She was like, well, maybe you don't understand how I run things, because I run things differently. She doesn't have any kids, mind you. So then I said, but that's just inhumane. Like, I would never let somebody's kid go to sleep without food. Like, I'm just not going to do that. I'm a mom. She's like, oh, well, you don't have to pay me the rest of the money that you owe me. And she said, I understand the game.
Look at this. Somebody come look at this.
Look at this. Somebody come and look at this.
And I'm like, the game, I have to work tomorrow. I won't even be able to work the next day because you decided to make me feel uncomfortable with you even watching my child. I was appalled. I'm not even going to lie to you, but you just got to watch. I say this. I say all of this to say this. Be mindful of who is involved with your kids. Nobody's going to love your kids like you love your kids. Let's just be clear. And I've known the girl. It's not like I just met her. I've known the girl since I was in elementary school, I want to say. Yeah, elementary school. When I first moved to the suburbs. Yeah, that area. So if you live around me, you know me. Everybody probably knows who I'm talking about, but I just don't want to state any names because of, Yeah, but I do have receipts of all that. We'll place them in the video. But honestly, I would much rather go to a professional. Like if I'm going to pay $19 an hour, I'd rather go to a professional. I honestly felt bad for Asianelle because, for one, it was our birthday weekend. That's why I felt really bad. It was our birthday weekend. For two, she didn't eat all night. Like, I don't see how that's justified, So, if you hear that, that's Asianelle ABC Mouse. Sorry, guys. Little noise in the background. But the way she went about it, both me and Asianelle, but we made the best of our trip. I couldn't go to work. They understood. I contacted a few people, but at the end of the day, I had to basically just stop what I was doing. And the tickets weren't cheap. I paid this girl up front 2 months ahead of time. 2 months ahead of time. $19 an hour. 2 months ahead of time. Okay? For about 12 hours, I want to say. Yeah. No, yeah, about 10. I got to look at the thing. I got to calculate it, but we're going to do the math itself. But it was just uncalled for. From the moment I left, before I even left, Asianelle was in the room. Asianelle did not leave the room at all. At all. Until I got back for $19 an hour. Comment down below, what would you do if that happened to you and your kid? Like, Asianelle has a lot to lose, so I can't just be out here, wah, 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 acting like a chicken with a head cut off, right? It's because I have to be mindful of who's paying attention. You can't, like I say to Asianelle, you have to be mindful of who's watching you because they might be learning from you, right? So, I wouldn't want to go off and Asianelle see me do that, because then what? That wouldn't prove anything. For me, that would just be still putting that in Asianelle's mind frame that, oh, that's okay. I told her it wasn't okay that the lady did that, Nanny EJ. And I explained to her that that's not what people usually do. But some people do. Like, you got to tell them real life things. Being a single parent is kind of hard, but you know what? I will stop everything I'm doing for Asianelle. She knows that. Everybody knows that. If you know me and Asianelle. But with that being said, me and Asianelle's almost done with this here, girl. I got to do her hair over the night. Because I do not want to be doing this weekend coming up. So before you go back to school tomorrow, I will definitely be doing this hair over, my love. Is that okay with you? Alright. Good. Alright. We're going to end this video right here. Hope you guys enjoyed the story time. Comment down below. Let me know if you would even be able to handle that situation. How much would you actually pay a nanny to watch your daughter or your child, your son or your daughter? Your son or your daughter. You gotta get it figured out. And we'll see you in the next video. Make sure you click that thumbs up button. Subscribe to the channel. Comment down below. Share, share, share. Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. And we'll catch you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.
You know me.